Welcome to the first episode of Keen on Australia. This is my new podcast, and I'll be talking about life in Australia, moving to Australia, setting up in Australia, and chatting with people that have been living in Australia that have moved from somewhere. These people will get them on. They'll be people that have lived here for, say, 6 to 24 months. We'll talk about their journey and how it was for them, where they moved from, say, New Zealand, the UK, South Africa, wherever they have moved from, any things they wish they did different, all those sorts of things. So we'll find out about their journeys. We'll also have a lot of professionals on, and they'll be doing segments on their professional topic. So things like we have a mortgage broker coming on that will tell you how you can and can't get a mortgage for buying a home when you first get here. Car finance, rental relocation, renters, things like that. So we'll be addressing lots of different topics as they come up. Anyone that has anything that could be useful for the show, feel free to reach out. We'd love to have on the show. We're always looking for guests, and then we'll just see how it goes. There's no set time, no set schedule. We'll just be doing what we can. I'll do this when I get the time available, and we'll be putting the information out there. Uh, how did this happen and what was my journey? Well, originally we were living in New Zealand. There's my wife and my children. My wife and I had talked for a very long time about moving to Australia. We used to come here a lot in our early 20s and things like that. And every time we come, we would always say, hey, we should really live here on the Gold Coast. And something always got in the way. For whatever reason, we chose not to move and we kept plugging on in New Zealand doing what we're doing. And then obviously we had the big COVID pandemic and the lockdown. New Zealand got quite heavily locked down and it wasn't a pleasant time. And we had a bit of time to reflect in that. And there was quite a few political things changing in New Zealand. It wasn't the country we grew up in. It's changed quite a bit. And we decided it wasn't for us any longer. So we decided to sell everything up, jump on the plane, and move to the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. That was straight after the borders opened at the end of the pandemic. We got here in early 22. And then obviously we started again, built a house, built up, did all those things with the kids and all those sort of things, and just carried on with life in general. For us, it was a great move. We decided it was the right thing for us, and we're really happy we've done it. When we did it, though, there wasn't as much information out there, and there wasn't a lot of places you could find stuff, or it was scattered all over the web. And obviously, with the lockdown, everyone started playing on TikTok because, hey, there was nothing else to do when you were stuck at home. And I had a TikTok account. I'd been playing on that just randomly with stuff. And then when we decided we were going to move, I started making videos on our move, just nothing more than documenting so we could look back on it and put them up, and then on how we're doing and what we're doing. And I kept making these videos, and then one day I woke up and it blew up. Heaps of people started watching them, following them, liking them, and asking for information on the move and whatnot. So I carried these videos on right through the process when we moved, from getting out of our country and packing up to arriving here and setting up and all the things we had to do at the start. And I basically just kept making them, and then they got more and more questions, and I made more and more of them, and we kept making them, and I still make them today. Still have people ask for information. It's a great source for short videos for people to look at stuff, and little hints and tips. Lots and lots of people watch those videos now quite regularly. And then I obviously thought, well, hey, people like this information. We'll keep making more of it. So hence the podcast was born, Keen on Australia, and we're going to give out lots more of free information on moving and other people's experience on moving, and hopefully it helps people out. And like I say, if there is anyone out there you would like us to talk to, by all means, reach out to us. We've got a Facebook page for Keen on Australia. You can message us on there and say, hey, I think you should talk to this style of person, or volunteer yourself, or if you're a business that provides services to people when they relocate, reach out to us. And then we'll interview them, and then, like I say, we'll keep making shows as long as people keep listening to them and liking them. There won't be a regular schedule of stuff. I do this when I have time. But like I say, hopefully the more people that like it, the more people we can get on, the more shows we can get out there. We have quite a few guests lined up already, a mix of businesses that can tell you their professional opinion on things you need to know when you move, and people that have made the move and how they've found it and what they may have done different, or what they wish they changed when they moved. Then a bit more about myself. I was always self-employed in New Zealand for a long time. Been in property for about 22 years. We started investing quite young, my wife and I. We bought our first rental property when we were about 18. So once I moved over here, I found it very hard to get our rental house when we first moved. A lot of competition post-COVID, and I flew over separate to the family, was here for 10 days. I think it was 10, just trying to set some stuff up and get prepared to move. And at the time, there wasn't really a lot of help for rental relocation and those sorts of things. So I got through that. Finally got us a house. I just about gave up, to be honest. I was getting pretty stressed. I couldn't get into properties and view them, and or even get a chance to get them. A lot of places wouldn't even return my calls. It was just, yeah, a bit of a stressful time. Finally secured a place, went back to New Zealand, came home, packed up. Then we moved over. Then obviously I got a job. We First thing we wanted to do again was buy a house. So a couple of months in, I brought a property off market here, directly off the seller. Again, that was a bit of a learning curve for me, even though I'd been around property for 20 odd years. All the laws and rules were a bit different here. But we bought the property, we moved in, got the kids settled in school, all those sorts of things. And I was working for someone else. I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. And I thought, well, what can I do and what do I want to do? And I always enjoyed working in property. And I decided that there's not a lot of people that help people with buying property. So I decided to get all my qualifications here to open my own business as a buyer's agent. So I specialize now in buying property for people. The majority of our clients are people that relocate interstate or intercountry, obviously because I resonate a lot with those people of how stressful it can be to move property, move country, or even move city. And then obviously when you move to a new country, all the laws are slightly different and all the way things are done, the time, the schedule, all those sort of things. So Keen on Property was born, and now I spend my time helping people relocate. We also help the odd investor and things like that. So that's what I do for my business daily. But I still enjoy helping people and putting out all my free stuff like my TikToks and that. And we get a lot of regular questions on the TikToks about getting a mortgage or buying a car or things like that. So I decided maybe I could make something a bit longer. So we thought, well, podcasts are popular, you can listen to them on Spotify and things like that in the car. Maybe we can make something a bit more informative for people and get a bit more information out there that's a bit more detailed. So that's where Keen on Australia was formed. So now I'll be trying to get those out as often as I can, but like I say, there won't be a regular schedule. It's going to be quite casual. And the feedback I get from the listeners will be what we do with it, who we interview, who we see. So hopefully you enjoy the upcoming shows. The next show coming up will be a mortgage broker, talking about what you can do with buying property when you first move here. Then we have a rental manager coming on in the future that will talk to you about understanding getting a rental property here, some of the do's, the don'ts, what might make it a little bit easier or harder for you. We've got another personal finance broker that does car loans and things like that. So we'll talk to them about what you can and can't do when you're first wanting to buy a vehicle here and just how it works in Australia and if it's any different. And then we've got a few guests that have made the move themselves, and we'll just talk about their family and their journey. So, like I say, jump on the Facebook page, Keen on Australia, give it a like and give it a follow. There'll obviously be a lot of updates there. If you're listening to it on Spotify, obviously put it into your liked and favorites account so you know when we have a new show. And if there's anything you need or anything you want us to do, reach out and let us know. Hope you all enjoy the upcoming shows, and we look forward to talking to you all soon.